All right. Let's talk about top things that are normalized that grown adults do that don't make any sense if you think about them. Let's just pick some. Skiing. What purpose does that serve other than fun? Maybe athleticism for the serious avid skier, right? How about being a football fan? I mean, a real football fan. Buying the jerseys, screaming at the TV, maybe painting your face, spending obscene amounts of time talking about it, watching pregame, watching postgame, watching the game, tailgating, hating the people on the other teams. What purpose does that serve? I'll tell you what it does potentially do. It potentially taps into that warrior spirit, which for most people has no outlet anymore, or the gladiator scene, the fight to the death. So what is that? Tapping into a primal instinct. Well, we could talk about why people, not just females, may be attracted to having replicas of babies. What else do we do that makes no sense? Karaoke. Why in the world would you do karaoke? Oh, because it's fun and it's something to do. That might be it. How about wine tasting or bar hopping? What purpose does that serve? Maybe a social thing, a social activity, which there's definitely a social scene in anything that you get involved with. How about drinking until you puke? What's the purpose that we have in that? How about pickleball? That's the new hot craze that grown-ups like to do. Pickleball. How about mud? How about the mud runs? Right? Those races. Anyway, I can't think of the name for them, but where you go and you run obstacle courses while you're also running a 5K. There's like the bacon run. You have those really extreme ones where you have to get electrocuted. You go over high walls, and then you get to the end, and then you go home. Like, you're not a warrior. You're not an Olympian. Why do that? And not just athletes do that, because it's also soccer moms who are just hoping to get to the bacon and the beer at the end. So why do we do that? And why do a themed run? Why not just go run? Why do, where your color run? Why wouldn't you just go run a regular race? How about spicy food eating contests where you see who could eat the spiciest food, and then you get a t-shirt, or if you eat the big steak, you get your name on the wall, and it's like a big thing. Why do we do that? Why would we do that? You know why? Because we freaking want to. Because we're trying to have fun in life. That's why. We're doing things that we like. And Joseph Campbell said, if you don't know Joseph Campbell, he's a historian, and he studied world cultures and religions, and he found through the common themes and everything that the fastest way to find your purpose in life was to be in a state of joy, to be in a state of alignment. And how do you do that? Follow your bliss. Whatever it is. If other people think it's stupid, if nobody understands, whatever it is that is going to get you in touch with you and enjoying your life, that's where your purpose is found. So freaking live it up, guys. Don't listen to the haters. All right, guys. Wednesday evening. Sun's going kind of down. Probably got another couple hours. I have stuff to do, of course, but I'm going to be out of pocket in terms of making videos for a bit, so I thought I should come up to get one done. Right off the side here, I have Lulu, who I'll share her name with you. And I had some fun things to say. It's a little bit disorganized. We're going to see how it all pans out. But take a quick sweep. We have Tegan is downstairs and Amity's downstairs. But current collection, we've got Murphy, Betty and Macaulay, my cuddle babies, and then cuddle dolls, cuddle babies. This is Gilbert. Oh. Charlie, Vesper. I'm gonna hang this picture up. George. Why does it look so hazy? I know I cleaned this, but George, sweet guy. He almost made it outside today. Billy, Audrey, Miss Lulu, who we'll see in a minute. Elliot, do you hear the trains? Do you hear the trains? I love the train. And Stevie. I think, oh, excuse me, I kicked that. I think I'm going to move Audrey here in a minute, and then I'm going to pop up and sit up here and change Lulu. But I wanted to start with this girl because she is the center of all the madness. I don't know if y'all have seen, and chances are the main audience for this video won't even see it. But if you go back and you find her box opening video, you're going to see that it has taken off, a little mind of its own. Last I checked, it was about 75,000 views, which is very uncommon for me. And when that happens, it's sort of, the car kind of jumps the tracks and goes off into non-doll world audience. So, as you can imagine, if you stumble upon a very realistic looking jiggly baby doll and you have never seen that before, it can be surprising. But, so that's understandable. But along comes with that the same thing I saw, you know, when I first started in this hobby. I saw people, you know, like Miss Serenity Smith, and then, you know, like Katie and Inez, and some people that I won't mention because I definitely, they're old news. But the quote unquote veterans, right? Kelly girl, the people that I watched that had been around for a long time had encountered this stuff before. So and of course over the years you encounter, so there's no new comment, guys, there's no new insult, there's no new freak out, there's no new suggestion, there's no new insult to be had, right? But when it pours through in volume, because I'm pretty lucky, I've got a pretty nice audience, I really don't get a whole lot of grief on here, it can be a bit much. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can recount some of what was shared. But feel free to go find that box opening and browse through the comments there. I'm gonna do some swapping around here. And but this is Audrey, guys. She's a full body silicone. Let's talk about her for a second, actually, since she is the one in question. Some of the things that were said specifically about her. Probably one of the most common things I said was that she looks dead. I see that a lot about vinyl Reborns too, any kind of sleeping doll. And I just have to say to that, like, if you've never seen a sleeping doll or a sleeping baby, you know, until they start to rot, it's a similar look if the eyes are closed and stuff. Now, if they're, you know, the fact that she's, I'm moving her around and she's not responding, I think that could trigger that a little bit for some people to think that it's reminiscent of that. But no, so what is she? If you happen to be somebody who's not from in the doll community, she was sculpted originally out of clay by an artist named Georgia Piggott in North Carolina. I think she's North Carolina, Florida. Anyway, in the U.S., an art doll. Art dolls have been around for a very long time. Then they create they cast a mold from that the sculpture of the realistic newborn baby. And then, as has been played with and tweaked and advanced and perfected and continues to evolve, a blend of silicone. A lot of these artists that pour their own have a proprietary blend, is poured into the mold, and magically through talent, this doll was done in all one piece, extracted from the mold, and came out like this, blank. Okay. Her coloring as it shows up on the camera can vary depending on the color. In the camera right now, she looks a little yellow. That's coming from the artificial light in the corner of the room. To me, she's got reds and a little bit of purple. So the camera lens will play with color. Okay. Then Georgia actually made this doll all herself. I think she had the hair rooted by another artist that does hair. So she's painted to not be plain blank silicone. All the little details, the toenails and stuff. And then the artist or another artist pushes one single piece of mohair at a time into the head to root. Now, where else can you see this art? See if the color changes if we turn off the light, because that might be what. We'll see. Yeah, it's about the same. Anyway, that's iPhone. Where else do we see this art? Special effects. Special effects artists have been using silicone for a long time to make very realistic masks, body parts, all that kind of stuff. The other thing that I heard about her, somebody said, I've seen way better for a whole lot cheaper. Way better quality silicone dolls for a whole lot cheaper. Georgia's prices for a full body silicone artist made are very, for a sculptor who's been doing it for a long time, who also sculpts vinyl dolls, are very reasonable within the relative market. Also, yeah, right, I don't believe you. The other thing that I heard was that her fingers are too long. Somebody said her fingers are too long. Something else. First of all, I love her fingers. She's got very delicate fingers. They're totally in proportion. It's just unusual on a doll to have all the fingers separated. So it is unusual to see. I'll give you that. But also, you guys, it's an art piece. It's not a manufactured computer-generated doll. Like, this was sculpted by a human being who's an artist. That's pretty freaking good to be the likeness of a baby, right? Actually, let me do something here. I'm going to do something. Let's see if I can achieve this. Achoo! Excuse me. This piece of art I purchased from an art auction. The artist is Lori, and I can't remember the last name because this one was a little bit ago. And this is paint, and then there's other mediums. Like, there's some sheets of music underneath that paint. Really, really realistic. I think I want to say I probably paid like $200 or $300 for that. We're in my bathroom now. This piece of art, Lori Pettit, is it Lori Pettit? is an artist. Bought that off of an art group auction by Stephanie Gagos. And I paid, oh gosh, like $500 for this picture maybe? I can't remember exactly. Paid a good bit of money for that art. The room's baby clothes all over. Okay, so this is Robert Kelly. He's a charcoal artist. I purchased this. Several $100s. I don't remember the prices on all of them. So he did pretty good on that one. This is Jane French. She painted that. This is an oil painting. You might say, why would you pay for that? There's spots all over her face. It's not, that's not how people look. Well, it spoke to me in my soul. The imperfection of it, the color of it, and what happened in real life is a happy accident. The finished portrait fell off the easel into the palette. And we had her, and I just had to have her. Now this is kind of weird. Who would pay for that, right? This is an awesome piece of art. I think I paid, I don't know, $150, $175, can't remember. That's resin. It's mixed media, right? You have flowers in there. I love that. I love that art. This is another art doll that I have. This is Arthur Fleck, aka Joker. That was created by an artist who also makes Reborn dolls in South Africa. It's a Blythe doll. That's from Heather Angel, Fallen Angel Nursery, or Mangled Misfits. That's Little Believer. It's another piece of art. I think I'm making my point, right? Like, there's another Robert Kelly. I've got encaustic. I've got pieces of encaustic art. Right? That's kind of like a... This one I bought at a florist. It's dark in here, I know. Bought this one at a florist from a local artist in Wisconsin. I've got another big piece that's got graffiti and a janitor and a graffiti monkey and then an actual banana on the ground. Looks like the monkey threw it out of the painting. No. Here's another Robert Kelly. Jackals or hyenas, whichever you prefer. Charcoal. It's captivating. The creativity of people is astounding. All right. So let's get on with it. I'm on my soapbox here for a minute. Oh yeah, and then let's not forget my sister made this beautiful, beautiful piece of art that is waiting to be hung. Waiting to find the perfect spot. Did y'all hear about that guy who came in and ate like a, I don't know, $1 million art installation recently? Do you know what it was? It was a banana taped to the freaking wall. It was a banana taped to the freaking wall. That was art to somebody. That's the interpretation. And we're going to be over here picking apart the length of the fingers. I can't do it. All right. Okay. Sorry. So annoying. Well, I lost her pacifier somewhere, I think. There it is. Okay. Now, let's get little Miss Lulu. I think I'm going to put the pink side up for her. Yeah, we can put the flowers down. Well, she's going to be, the color she's wearing, may not match. I'm going to make sure it's So this is what I'm going to put on her. I just want to make sure that it shows well. Yeah, that works well. So it's a very soft pink color. And here she is. It's getting rapidly darker outside. We might need to turn this light on. Let's see what that does. You're going to lose some details on the doll because of the lighting. Oh, it really, really washes her out. That's the other thing too, like the paint, the way the camera picks up the paint and stuff, the reflective qualities of the paint, right? Like your lighting, the kind of paint blend, all affects how it gets picked up on the camera too. All right. So this girl, switching gears for a second, my Lulu sculpt by Joanna Kazmierczak. She was painted by Holly Cook at Moon River Reborns. I'm so sorry she's in the shadows. I almost wonder if I could move us around. Let's see. I hate to not represent. I think that's horrible. That's no better at all. Come here, Billy. Can you come help hold that down? Let's see how that is. That's pretty good. We're just going to go with it. I hope that it's all right because I can't see what the heck is going on. So, anyway, I have some other points I'm gonna address in a separate video. That's a little bit less of a sort of brain dump and a little bit more organized. But some of the other comments are that some of the other comments are really centered around that this is, well, number one, that the dolls are freaky. And I heard from Inez like several years ago, she shared the concept of uncanny valley on her channel or on Instagram. I can't remember now, but it's been years. It's pretty early on in my collecting. The uncanny valley is, if you Google it, right? Google it. But the way that she explained it and the way that oh, very nice. The way that I best understand it is that it's a phenomenon that happens in the brain when something is very humanoid, like human-like. Even when if you know that it's not, it's the brain has a hard time processing when you look at something that appears to be human. And it was something that came up with like the very realistic robotics in Japan. That it was happening to people where they were getting freaked out. That happens with the Reborns, and it happens to me a little bit. I mean, not being actually scared, but I could have a doll that I actually have disassembled for maintenance, and I still sometimes can look at it and it's like you have this moment where you think it's, you don't think anything. You just have this sensation of like the realism. Okay, so I get that. Calling somebody freaks or, there's a whole separate thing that happens there. But, and if you see my responses, you can see that there are times where I try to explain things to people, and there are times where I'm basically like, F off, buddy. And a lot of it has to do with the way somebody says something or the energy of their comment or the vibe of their comment. Lots and lots of bad grammar and spelling, by the way. But the other biggest thing Take a wild guess. It's so sad. Middle-aged women playing with dolls. So I guess this, I'm playing. So I'm changing her into an outfit. The baby fashion is a big part of it because I'll tell you in a second why I collect. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. So that is so sad, middle-aged women, and that we should just have real babies or adopt if we can't have them, or give all of our money to babies in need instead of buying dolls. Let's break it down. Number one, be really careful about telling people they should just go have real children instead of having dolls. Do you recognize the vast difference between a doll and a human infant? The care involved, the cost involved, how you can seriously screw them up, and what impact that has on society. Besides the fact that wanting a doll has nothing to do with wanting to have a baby on the surface. People's personal reasons for collecting, that's another story. I can't speak to everybody's. Obviously, I'm aware of the different reasons people collect. I will only speak for myself in this video, and I do not want a baby. I've raised stepchildren. I have younger siblings. I've considered it and made a conscious choice. I freaking love these dolls. This is like the dream, right? The ultimate of what you hope for as a little kid. Dolls were, it was like doll or a pet. That's what I wanted for a Christmas birthday. And so and I remember my first anatomically correct vinyl doll from the store, and man, did I pretend he was real. And I knit clothes for him, and I even pretended a little Gonzo from the McDonald's Happy Meal was real, okay? So, my grandmother collected dolls. There were porcelain dolls, there were baby dolls, there were stuffed animals. She even had a mannequin. And I have dolls from the 1920s in here. Porcelain dolls were have been collected by women for a very long time. It's very different. I'm friends with people who are grandparents that collect these dolls. I'm friends with people that are too young to have their own children that have these dolls. It's just like a huge gamut. But telling somebody that they should go have a baby instead of buying a freaking adorable, beautiful, very impressively done piece of art doll is irresponsible and just ignorant. Okay, I don't want a baby. That's not why I have dolls. If you are confused, this is a doll. This is not a baby. Let's see, in terms of playing, I don't do outings. When my stepdaughter had her first doll, we took our dolls out for her a couple times. If I go to a doll show, I will bring a doll. Or if we get to, if there happens to be a get together, we like to see each other's. So yes, and I bring it in a stroller, because how else are you going to transport an extremely expensive replica of a newborn? And plus it's fun. So that's really cute. I don't bring my dolls on outings otherwise. Sometimes I'll pick them up for like 30 seconds and put them down, but mostly I just like to freaking look at them and pose them and just be like, oh my God, they're so cute, and take a lot of photographs and post it on Instagram. All right. What was the other thing? It's so sad. So people have been collecting dolls forever. Oh, and that we should give all our money, that we should give the money to charity instead of buying dolls. So number one, this is my big point. People are like, why are you wasting your money on dolls? I didn't burn the money. I didn't eat the money. I didn't flush the money down the toilet. I spent the money. It went to an artist who's going to feed their family off of it and everything else. And then they'll use it to buy things. That money is in circulation in our economy. So, what do you think we do? Number two, I can guarantee you none of those people who said that spend all their money on charity. Here's what I don't do. I don't obviously spend money on expensive manicures. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't party, I don't go to clubs, I don't go out. I don't go out with girlfriends, I don't go on girls trips. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't buy expensive handbags or expensive shoes. I don't have, a clothing fetish or expensive watches or buy a whole bunch of diamonds. I don't spend my money on that. This is what I enjoy to spend a lot of money on. One of the couple things that I like. My participation in the charities of my choice is aside from that and none of your business. I don't believe in broadcasting my charitable contributions to strangers who have no respect anyways. Number one, but number two, I takes away from it. So, yes. What else did I hear? One guy, when he said something about, I said, this is, so this to me, this is like the culmination of childhood thing. Guys collect things, cars, model trains, models, stamps, weapons, whatever. He said, yeah, but I would never take my rifles out in public and show them around. Well, okay. If you went to a gun show, you might, if you had a booth, but I'm like, the video was filmed in my home, dude. So, all right. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my brain dump of thoughts. I forgot to tell you her name, by the way. I named this girl Lucille Monet. Lucille seems to suit her perfectly. It's a great nod to the beloved Negan and also Lucille Ball and Lulu. And Monet, of course, was an artist. So that's all we have. Thanks again for watching. We'll be back before too long, sending out lots of love. Bye for now.